Hello friends, how are you all doing? My name is Shaz, short for Shahrazad, and I love colorful makeup. As you can see, today we're going to do another to buy or not to buy video. In these videos, I talk about any makeup, usually indie, that has been released, announced, or sneak peeked, and I tell you my thoughts on these makeup items and whether I'm intending to purchase them. I also ask you to write in the comments below if you are purchasing any of these items and generally what your thoughts and opinions are on these items. Also, at the same time, I'm going to do my eye look, this eyeshadow look with the Nightmare Before Christmas palette from Colourpop. This is the inside. This palette came out last year. Well, this collection came out last year from Colourpop, but Colourpop recently restocked this collection because of Halloween. And if you missed out on purchasing this palette, it's still available on the Colourpop website and you can purchase it now if you want to make this eye look or other eye looks with it. Before we go into the video, as always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Also, now I have an Instagram account and my handle is in the description box below, so you can follow me on Instagram. Now let's jump into the video. Painterly by MAC on my eyes. I'm videoing right now at 8 a.m. because I'm hoping that it's going to be a better time with less noise. We'll see and we'll test that. I usually either video on Friday afternoons or on Saturday later in the day, but I figured at this hour there might be less car noise. We'll see. I would love to go into this color called What's This? With a fluffy brush, I'm going to put it in my crease. Let's start with a bunch of things that have restocked. So these are not necessarily new palettes, but some of these might be things you are interested in. The first one I want to talk about is Serenity Palette by Cosmic Brushes. There's a little bit of fallout. I'll clean that up later. Folks, don't sleep on the Serenity palette. It's one of the best palettes of this year. I have a video with it. Go watch that video. It's a fantastic palette. When I think about the various palettes that came out this year, that one palette is the palette that comes to mind over and over as the only palette I would pick. Because of the color story, because of the quality, it's just fantastic. And the price, I think it's like 20 pounds, which comes to like $22. Like seriously? Also, Halloween is restocked, and folks, I have a video with that palette as well. I'm gonna link my video here for you to check out. Unearthly Cosmetics is restocking a lot of their palettes. I think they're kind of restocking the whole stack. So definitely, if there was a palette you've been wanting that was not in stock at the time you looked on their website, do check out again. They might have it back. Unearthly Cosmetics might also have additional sales if you use someone's code. So do also pay attention to that. And speaking of someone's code, Adept Cosmetics also has a sale. I think they have restocked every single palette. It's possible that at the time I'm videoing, one of these palettes has gone out of stock if it's been over purchased. But I realized last night that they even have a bundle that was either of all of their palettes or like 4 or 5 of their palettes that you could buy. If for any reason you might want to buy a bundle, if you've never bought anything from Adept and you want all of their products. I'm going to go into this color called Everybody Scream. Also, before I forget, I apologize for being a little bit MIA this week. It was a very, very crazy week in terms of work. In case you don't know, YouTube is not my day job. This is sort of a hobby for me. I have another day job, and I'm not trying to say, well, I have a day job, I don't have time. I know it's going to sound like an excuse regardless. It's just the fact that it was very, very busy this week and I didn't get a chance to upload more videos. But I'm going to try to become better at it. I have videoed a lot of videos for you and I'm so excited for some of the things that I know are coming up. So let's get into the first new thing. And you know, I'm using Colourpop, so let's start with Colourpop's section of the day. Colourpop has released a new collection called the Troublemaker collection. And folks, it's already available. You can go to the website and buy it. It's a gorgeous collection. And I know it's kind of bizarre because I'm not a neutral person, but this palette to me is just super pretty. And it looks like some of the colors in the palette, I mean, I would have imagined they're multichromes, but I don't think Colourpop does multichromes. So I would think they're duochromes, and it's just gorgeous. I don't know, there's something about this palette that screams winter to me, but a very well done winter. And I think I might just bite the bullet and pick something from this collection. What are these? Are these lip glosses? I'm not a lip gloss person. So it seems like these are Luxe Liquid Lip. And folks, I have bought many of these Luxe Liquid Lips and I love them. They kind of give your lips a tint. They're not drying. They're very comfortable on my lips. But all of these things are a matter of the skin type on your lips. Something that might not dry my lips might dry your lips. So I have heard people say, what is this about the Luxe Liquid Lips? But I personally really like them. If I buy anything, it might be the collection of the lips, or it might be the palette. I even love the name of the palette. You know, Troublemaker kind of resonates with me. I don't know if that's a good thing. So you never know. You might see a thing or two from this collection pop up on this channel. Moving on. The next item I want to talk about is Blend Bunny's new palette, folks. I am so excited about this. It's coming out at 10 a.m. PST today, or Saturday, October 15th. And folks, I'm very likely going to buy this. I'm at least going to buy the palette. I'm very intrigued by this palette. It's gorgeous and it's very different. I think of Blend Bunny in general as a brand whose palettes I can use in conjunction with a lot of other palettes as well. For example, when I'm traveling, I can travel a palette like this with an all shimmer palette from another brand like Saint Angels and Sinners or Sugar Drizzle and make a plethora of eye looks with just two palettes. There are not a lot of brands I can say that about, which is what makes Blend Bunny so special to me. And also their quality is fantastic. There have been mattes here and there that I thought were sheerer than I expected, but they're very buildable. It's just a great matte quality. So I am very likely going to pick up this palette. Also, this palette gives me New Year and holiday vibes, which is another reason why I'm attracted to this palette. I'm just in a holiday mood. I don't even know why. It's not even been Halloween yet. I do have to say though about Blend Bunny, I feel like they're having too many browns in their palettes. One of their palettes, I think it was the Dollhouse palette. There were like 3 colors, the 2 dark browns and the black that I thought were very similar. And similarly in this palette, I feel like the row of dark mattes, there might be dupes in that row. But anyway, the palette's high quality. I like the brand. It's very versatile. I'm probably going to pick it up. And between this and Adept, if you remember, I talked about Adept's palette, so let's talk about that now. By the way, for that palette, Adept has now revealed swatches, and some of the swatches look really intriguing. The metallic swatches look super metallic, and it looks like there are some very cool pink to green shifting multi-chrome duochromes, which are great. But between that palette and this palette, I think this palette would be more something I would use because I use mattes a lot. You never know, maybe I'll purchase both of them. Write to me below if you want me to review the Adept palette. If you want me to review it, I'll purchase it and review it. Otherwise, I don't know. What if you corrected me that B-A-U-T-E should be pronounced Beauty? So, Ace Beauty is having a collection. It includes a palette called the Ambiance palette and lipsticks. And folks, this Ambiance palette is gorgeous. I'm on their website because I've just been debating if I should add this to cart. If you watched my last to buy or not to buy video, I'm gonna link it somewhere here. Go watch it. I am gonna be out of the country for a little bit, and unless things can deliver to me within the next 10 days, they could possibly deliver during the period that I'm going to be out of town. I don't want to possibly cause some issues with the shipment or for these palettes to be returned, which is part of the reason why I'm hesitant to put orders in. However, I think Ace Beauty is out of Texas, and I think the last time I put an order in, they delivered in 2 days. So maybe I'll order it, but if I want to order it, I need to really order it today. Separate from this, they're releasing normal and liquid lipsticks and lip liners. And folks, these are absolutely gorgeous. They are already available on the website if you're interested in purchasing. I think they released 2 days ago. I haven't purchased lip products in over a year. I think I've mentioned it in multiple of my videos that I'm trying to go through all of my, or at least as much of my a lip product stash as I can, because lip products are cream and they go rancid much faster. Usually eyeshadow palettes, you could possibly even keep it for 5-6 years, but lipsticks would probably go rancid in a couple of years. I want to use as many of my lipsticks as I can before I buy more, but I can't deny the fact that I've been very intrigued by this, and I have added different ones to my cart, wondering if I should check it out. So let's move on before I purchase something on this website. This next one I've already purchased. I already talked about this. So this is the beautiful and gorgeous palette by Terra called Cosmic Wanderor. There is nothing to dislike about Terra. They have fantastic matte quality. They have fantastic shimmer quality. They're extremely innovative in the type of colors and the variety of multichromes and colors that they come out with. The quality of their mattes is so buttery. I have never seen mattes like this. I just absolutely love it. So I had promised that I'm going to be the first person on that website, and I think I was one of the first 10 people probably to purchase this palette from their website. And in that purchase, I also purchased 3 of their multichromes that I do not have. Now, I'm actually not 100% sure if the multichromes that I purchased are from the fall collection. They might be from the summer collection. So I have not purchased anything from Terra since May, so I didn't purchase anything from their summer collection either, because I just have a lot of Terra and I want to use them more often. I also want to make a couple of videos just reviewing the brand, maybe reviewing some multichromes, and doing swatch videos and things like that of their products. If that is of interest to you, please write in the comments below. I know I've promised a couple of things to some of you in comments, and it might have taken me a little longer than I was hoping to create those videos, and I'm very sorry about that. I don't want to say anything, because whatever I say is going to be an excuse. I'm really trying to get these videos out as fast as I can. A lot of the videos you're seeing on this channel have been videoed a while ago, and it took me like 10 days to be able to edit them. So I appreciate that you're being patient with me. Also, with this release, Terra has released some lip glosses. I'm not a gloss person. I just don't like sticky lips. I'm a matte liquid lipstick type of person, and in fact, some of the matte liquid lipsticks that people say are super drying, I don't mind, because I don't like goo around my mouth. I also don't like my hair getting into the lip gloss and rubbing across my face. Ugh. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. But as I said, totally excited to receive this. I'm gonna contact a brand to see when it's gonna ship out. Terra has been fantastic at shipping in a certain way that things would get to me very fast. Otherwise, I would like to ask them to delay the shipment to after I'm back. Moving on, the next thing I want to talk about, I don't really want to talk about this, is Kylie and Batman. Yeah, I really don't want to talk about this. I mean, isn't this palette yet another neutral palette with a pop of blue? I like the comic strip idea, but it's kind of, honestly, I just don't get Kylie Cosmetics. Things seem so random. I like the highlighter though. I like the color, and even the concept and the embossing just looks super cool. The embossing is the skylight, the Batman's sign projected with light in the sky. But yeah, I mean, this is a neutral palette. Obviously, I'm not going to buy it. I like the packaging because I like comic strips. I am like, what is this? So moving on. I'm going back into this color. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is Half Magic Beauty. It seems like they now have some single colors and also a magnetic palette you can put these singles in. If you remove the blue color, it looks like all neutral colors. I think there's also a pink color, but the rest are all neutral. Other than the intrigue of purchasing a magnetic palette that's neon green, I am not interested in any of these singles. I'm way more excited about the outer packaging of these than the singles themselves, and I think that says it all. But as you know, I'm always in the market for magnetic palettes because I have a lot of singles and I like purchasing singles and all that. So I could see myself picking up the magnetic palette. Also, it seems like this magnetic palette is 100% recyclable or something, which is something I care about and would give me more reason to want to buy it. I'm putting the same pink color as in the outer V in my lower lash line. The next thing I want to talk about is AYO Coralie's collab with Beauty Bay. There are two 8-pan palettes. I think they're relatively nice complements. One is sort of girly pink and pop of color summery type of palette. The other one is fall grunge. I just purchased the Dark Magic palette. Oh, did I mention that in the last video? I've purchased the Dark Magic palette and I'll make a video about it as soon as I receive it. It's already shipped, so I'm looking forward to receiving it. And you're all gonna see it on this channel. At this point, I think I have these colors in other possibly even Beauty Bay palettes, so I'm gonna pass. These two palettes together are $24. I do not know if you can buy them individually, and it's already available on Beauty Bay website if you want to purchase them. The next thing I want to talk about is by Pastel Roses UK. They have a Ghost Show bundle. The two things are going to come out to around 50 bucks, and if you want only the palette, it's going to be $35-ish. The palette reminded me of Witch Please palette by Pink Crush Cosmetics, and I passed on that palette, so I'm gonna pass on this. However, Pastel Roses UK is a brand I've heard a lot of good things about, so I definitely have an eye out on this brand, and I would be intrigued to purchase something from them in the future. At this point in time, there's a lot of things I want to buy, and I'm really looking for things that are different. Nomad Cosmetics is releasing a magnetic palette and singles. I believe these are singles that are from their Monteverde palette and from their Hudson Valley palette. So the colors are the same as the colors in those palettes. I have a review of the Monteverde palette. I'll link it here. Some of the shimmers in that palette were stunning. Watch that video. I talk about the stunning shimmers. Yeah, if you're interested, watch that video. But at this point in time, I'm not interested in purchasing anything from Nomad, so moving on. Although I might be interested in purchasing the magnetic palette itself, because I'm always in the market for magnetic palettes. Okay folks, Beauty Benzz is collabing with Essence. I don't own anything by Essence. Essence is a drugstore brand. I think they're English. I've heard pretty good things about them. I know some of their mascaras are people's staple mascaras. If I used more mascaras, I would definitely buy mascaras from that brand just to see how they are. I have very dark lashes, so I don't use mascaras often. In fact, I have been approached and asked what kind of fake lashes I use when I have not been wearing fake lashes. This collab is called a Mystery Beauty Set. It has an eyeshadow palette, eyeliner, pH reacting blush stick, lip gloss. I think that's everything that's in here. I'm on the Essence website. It doesn't look like it's released for purchase yet, and I cannot find a price for it either. So I'm guessing it's going to be released soon, and maybe they will announce the release. Okay folks, I'm now gonna go into this color called Halloween Town. I'm just darkening out the outer part of my lower lash a little bit. Okay friends, let's talk about Electrum Cosmetics' new palette. This palette's called Sea Witch. It's $55. It launches, well, it's already launched October 14th. It's gorgeous. I've never heard of this brand, but the swatches, if they really swatch like this, I want this palette. Although I probably shouldn't put any orders from different brands because I don't know if they will get to me on time. But this is my type of colors, my type of grunge, and I'm pretty intrigued. Write to me below if you want to see this palette reviewed in this channel. Okay friends, this next one I've been seeing and I've been kind of drooling over. Isn't this a gorgeous palette? Oh, the jewel colors. I wanted to buy the last Simply Posh palette. I'll put it on the screen and I didn't. I'm still wondering if I should have. I feel like I'm having regrets. And then when this came out, I'm like, no, this palette is the one that I want. Yeah, so I told you all, this week is just a bad week because I want everything. It's not good for my wallet. This palette's $45. It's coming out October 18th, 3 p.m. CST. It's supposed to have mattes and duochromes. I have been eyeing Simply Posh. I heard fantastic reviews about their last palette, and as I said, I was very interested in purchasing it. So you never know, I might purchase this. I might purchase it. We'll see. We'll see. I still have to do some budgeting. Usually when I travel with the company, my costs come down because for the time that I'm gone, everything is paid for by the company. So, you know, I don't pay for groceries and things like that. So maybe I'll save that money and buy this palette with it. We'll see. Oh, let's talk about this one. I don't exactly know a whole lot about this brand. It seems like there's a brand called SuperDrug, and it is collabing with Rupaul. And it seems like this collection is only available in the UK. I'm probably not the biggest fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, but I've definitely watched some of the videos. I definitely understand the concept. You know, the whole sachet away, Shantae, you stay. That kind of gave me a great laugh. I think the concept is interesting. Knowing this is drag makeup, I think the colors should have been much more vibrant. That's kind of what I expected. And if that would have been the case, I would probably try somehow to purchase one of these. I don't know how because I don't live in the UK, but you know, there are ways. I think the concept started very well. The names are fun, but it could have been executed better. It's a little bit too muted down. And I have to say that I have extreme amount of respect for Rupaul as a trendsetter, as an iconoclast, creativity, everything. So I would totally be somebody who would buy one of these palettes, but I don't live in the UK and the execution isn't very good. Okay, friends, this next brand, Bella Beauty Bar, is sneak peeking a palette called Illumination 3. Did I talk about this last week? Maybe I talked about this last week. Long story short, I'm intrigued. The color combination is interesting. Some of these colors look like they're multichromes. I don't have a lot of details here. It says duochrome palettes. I don't know if everything is duochrome or some are dual multichromes. It seems like it's an all shimmer palette. You all know by now that I still have my eyes on Strange and Unusual palette. So until that palette happens, no other palette from Bella Beauty Bar is going to happen. For better or for worse. Strange and Unusual, come back. Please. Bella Beauty Bar, if you're watching this video, please bring that palette back. Please, please. Moving on. Okay, folks, I'm going to quickly tap some NYX Glitter Primer on my lids in this area. And I'm going to go into the Pumpkin Patch Gold color. This is one of those cool toned gold colors. I love it. As I'm doing this, let me also tell you that Oden's Eye has sneak peeked their holiday collection. They haven't fully sneak peeked. It's sort of a photo that is blurred, so you can't exactly see what it looks like, but I'm intrigued to see what it looks like. Oden's Eye is a brand I don't own anything from, and I'm continuously looking for that first palette or first item to purchase from them. I do think their Large Wolves, was it Giant Wolves palette? Giant Wolves palette was the palette that got away. That would have been the palette in all of the palettes they have released that I would have wanted really badly. Just color story wise, the multichromes and all of that. I even looked at possibly purchasing it secondhand on Mercari, and somebody was selling it for like 300 bucks. And I'm not going to pay 300 bucks for a palette, let alone a secondhand palette. But intrigued for the reveal. And you never know, maybe I'll purchase something from them if the reveal looks nice. I'm going to quickly go into this color, Sandy Claws, with a packing brush. And I'm going to use this color to blend the edges of the gold into the colors next to it. Similar to Oden's Eye, Martine Cosmetics has also revealed a sneak peek of their next palette. And the colors that they're showing is intriguing to me, but I don't know, for some reason these colors next to each other reminded me of Jeffree Star's Alien palette. You all remember that palette? I actually have that palette, and believe it or not, that was one of my favorite palettes. Other than the bulky, kind of hard to store packaging, the color story and the quality was fantastic. But anyway, this reminded me of that because that palette also had purple and lime green and things like that. So the palette's called the Triple X palette, and it's going to come out on the 18th at 5 a.m. CST. So if you're interested, 5 a.m. Oh yeah, maybe it's coming out because maybe it's releasing like in France or something. Because like, who releases something at that hour of the morning? Anyway, but obviously if it's releasing in Europe, for the US it's going to be early morning. Okay, friends, there's two more things and then we're done. And while we're at it, let me quickly put some of Zero in my inner corner. Oof, this color, folks, this color. By the way, I think I mentioned last week that this palette and this collection, the Nightmare Before Christmas collection, has been re-released by Colourpop. So this palette is available again if you wanted to purchase it last year and you didn't. Okay, friends, Shine by SD is releasing a new collection. It has 22 shades, 11 Divinity shades, and 11 Shimmer shades. And the prices range from $5.10 to $13.10 USD. And it's already available. Shine by SD is a Canadian brand, which is why the USD conversion is a little bit not a round number. I do have Wait My Turn from their Divinity collection, and I'm going to quickly swatch it for you. I don't know if you can see that. It's an absolute gorgeous color. There's a dark green base with a blue hue on top. I recently purchased some other things from Shine by SD that are going to come out in this channel, i.e. the Fantasy 2.0 collection, and they had mentioned that if you purchase on a particular day, they will send you colors from their new collection. So that's how they send me this one color. It's not a gift or anything. I mean, it is a gift, but they would have sent it to anybody who would have made that purchase at that point in time. That was sort of a deal that they had on their website. And also this next one, Glaminatrix, has released a mystery bundle. It became available like 10-ish hours ago on their website. Prices that I'm gonna say are in Australian dollars, and US dollars is going to be valued more than Australian dollars, so the prices are lower in US dollars. The full value of the mystery bundle is 95 Australian dollars for 60 Australian dollars. So it means you pay $60 and there's going to be $95 Australian dollars worth of items in it. The package is going to have at least one multichrome, one duochrome, 6 standard shimmers or mattes. You can add to this purchase a magnetic palette that they have, and with the code palette you can get $10 off of that magnetic palette. So the magnetic palette is 20 Australian dollars, and if you use the code palette you will get it for 10 Australian dollars, which I think is going to come out to like $7 US, which is a fantastic price for a magnetic palette. And folks, I already purchased this morning. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, yeah, I want to purchase that, and I just bought it. So when I receive it, I'm gonna feature it in this channel. I might also ask them to bundle it with the Glamorous palette and see if I can get my shipping off, so I don't have to pay shipping for both packages. We'll see. We'll see. I think that is everything. Let me scooch back in. With that said, my eye look is done. I also added some Dusty Mauve from Anastasia of Beverly Hills lipstick on my lips. Thanks again for being here. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Also follow me on Instagram. My handle is in the description box below. I post other things on Instagram and I'm going to become way more active. I recently created the account, so there's not a lot of activity in there yet. I love you all. Have a fantastic weekend, and until next time. Bye.